The high school sports meet is brought to you by Alfred State College, where within 6 months of graduating, an astonishing 99% are working or furthering their studies. At Alfred State, they stress project-based learning, where students work on real-world problems and learn how to think, not what to think. Visit alfredstate.edu.
Sports. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's how we roll. It's wins and losses, highs and lows. It's effort, respect, and dedication. The high school sports beat. Sports. It's who we are.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us on the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College. I'm Dave Yates. We begin part 2 of our look at the best of the winter season in Section 5 with our opening story, brought to you by Sticky Lips Barbecue and Juke Joint. Sticky Lips Barbecue Juke Joint, New York State's largest barbecue restaurant right here in Rochester. See our menu and live music calendar at StickyLipsBBQ.com. Sticky Lips BBQ, Jefferson Road in Henrietta. Monique Hardy of Webster Thomas is the best in the nation in girls weight throw, bar none. We got a chance to talk with her at the Monroe County Championships earlier this year.
The next person comes in. You have 15 minutes because we have 15 ladies. If you're done any earlier, I'll start the
It's not often you can watch someone perform and realize that they are the best in the nation at what they do. But when you watch Monique Hardy from Webster Thomas compete in the weight throw, that is exactly what you're seeing. Every time she sets a personal record, which it seems like she does every week, she sets a new standard for the rest of America to chase.
It's surprising, but I've been really working hard to be number one, so I'm pretty happy with the results. Just trying to keep it consistently there. That's the biggest thing I'm trying to do right now. It feels amazing. It's indescribable, to be honest.
Part of her weekend routine now involves going online and looking to see how the rest of the big throwers around the country have fared.
We always check mile split to see what's going on, seeing, oh, this person moved up in the leaderboard, oh, this person is doing better than this person, and seeing like, oh, this meet's about to be pretty good because this person's near me, trying to have that healthy competition throughout the whole year.
One of the reasons she needs to check those other results is because throwers around here can't come close to the length that she achieves. And that can be one of her biggest obstacles. Staying focused when your only real competition is yourself.
It's easy for someone to sort of rest on their laurels and just sort of get a big head, but she's always worried about the next meet and what she can do to continue to improve on her own. We're unfortunate that we don't have a lot of other throwers in this section right now. I think, sectional, she might double up the next competitor, so it's hard for her to stay focused and compete basically against herself.
In order to go head-to-head with some of the better throwers in the country, Monique needs to travel to meets outside the area. It's not only good for her as a measuring stick, it also gets her used to the places she will be throwing at for the bigger events.
Very important, just because each circle's different, like that's a wooden circle over there, that's a cement circle, there's more wooden circles and cement circles, and then because they're cement, they'll be faster. You gotta shift your weight a little bit more to really create those big throws at those certain circles. So.
For her dad, the most rewarding part isn't just seeing her succeed like she does, but also seeing that hard work pay off and knowing that will transfer to other aspects of her life as well.
I was just talking to one of the other parents, and then I was saying that the whole ideal of sports from my perspective now is that it does create a collegiate attitude in your child when they really find something, a sport that they're passionate about. It creates a mindset that I can go further and I could, go on into a collegiate career. And not only that, it carries into the academic aspect of her mindset in terms of how she views her academics, because she knows that it's not just the sports that's going to carry her further, but there has to be a unique balance academically in order for it to all come together.
Her attitude and her commitment have gotten her this far, and it's also rubbed off on those around her.
She spends more time training on her own and getting in turns, and she's sending me videos on weekends, and and she's really she's bought in, and she loves the event. And she's brought a lot of people around her up with her. We have a very good freshman class that came in. We have another sophomore boy, Sean Smith, who's the top sophomore in the state right now, through 61 feet. That puts him 9th overall in the state. And she's really bringing those kids along with her passion. And I think the sky is the limit for her, really.
It's just overwhelming sometimes to believe that she starts out at one stage of it and then she ends up at this stage of it only in her junior year. So we're very extremely happy and proud of her accomplishments over the successive years that she's been doing this, and I can't but imagine to think where she's going to go with this. So we're just kind of going along for the ride,
I know it's a lot of work, it's a lot of travel, it's a lot of commitment, but how much fun is it?
It's so much fun. I think I did soccer before this, and I had to drop it because I felt more passionate about this sport. So it's something else. I really enjoy this sport so much. I put everything into it. Right after school, I go lift, and I have practice right after, and just putting everything towards what you need to do to be successful.
Monique won 2 state titles this year in the weight throw and shot put, and won a national title in the weight throw at the New Balance Invitational. Well, coming up, Paul Gotham joins us for the Dunkin High School Notebook. We've got that and more when the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College, returns.
Get 2 for $2 egg and cheese wraps, 2 for $4 bagels with cream cheese spread, and 2 for $5 bacon, egg, and cheese croissants with Dunkin' Go-Tos. America runs on Dunkin'.
Hello again and welcome back to the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College. It is time now for the High School Notebook, brought to you by Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'. And as always, we are joined by Paul Gotham from pickandsplinters.com. Paul, change of season. Great time to check out the website.
Certainly. We'll still stay with a little bit of basketball as we have March Madness, our NCAA tournament. We have 6 of our Section 5 alums who will be playing in the March Madness. We got Anthony Lamb and Dante Carruthers, Janathan Williams, and then we have Sierra Dillard on the girls' side. So we'll certainly have articles about them going right into our baseball previews. Yeah, so yes, we'll be switching seasons.
Well, Paul, we're talking baseball. Let's talk about some of the guys. You can see them now before they hit the big time, so to speak, in Section 5.
It's going to be an exciting year for Section 5 baseball when you consider the fact that we have 10 kids who will be playing baseball this year on our fields who have already committed to Division I schools. And we've said this before, Division I's not the only marker of improvement, but it's certainly noteworthy. I don't think we've ever had that. And obviously you got McQuaid with the 3 players. Tyler Griggs, who signed a couple years ago to go to UConn, is going to play at UConn. Ben Beauchamp at Albany, and Ryan O'Mara is going to play at Niagara, following Greg Cullen, who did that same path, went from McQuaid to Niagara and was taken last year in the MLB draft. But it's interesting. We're going to have several games this year where we're going to have future Division I athletes playing against each other. And, obviously we have the very noteworthy commitments from Gage Zeal and Casey Sauke, Penfield's Gage Zeal, who is committed to play at Miami, at the University of Miami, and Casey Sauke, who's going to play at Virginia again, following, Ernie Clement, who did it from Brighton a couple years ago. And so it's going to be great to look forward to and see how these kids do. We have 11 kids right now, former Section 5 kids, who are playing Division I baseball, and we have another 9 guys who are in professional baseball at one level or another. So certainly the foundation is being set for Section 5 baseball doing well beyond our local fields.
Why do you think that is?
That's a great question. I don't think there's any one thing. I think it's that old saying, it takes a village to bring up a child. I think it takes a community to bring up baseball players. We have a lot of great development programs. We have a lot of great, Valley Baseball does a great job. Diamond Pro does a great job. So many of these kids work at Diamond Pro, get their work in at Diamond Pro. But you also have great high school coaches. And I think once you start getting that going, things start working out. It could be the Cito Culver, Chris Bostic effect. Those guys back in 09, 10 brought in organizations, started scouting them, getting drafted, and people came in and realized we got good baseball here, and it's continued.
That's awesome. Doesn't matter why, as long as they show up.
Yeah.
All right, we're back with more of the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College right after this. Coming up next, the Making the Grade nominee with Kyle O'Gara, and later, a team with a rich history looks to honor a coach's legacy. Well, that story when the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College, continues.
Welcome back, and thank you for joining us on the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College. I'm Kyle O'Gara. Making the grade this week is Honeoye Falls Lima senior Rachel Sequeira. Rachel is an outstanding student with a 4.0 GPA and is part of the National Honor Society. Out of the classroom, Rachel is a stellar athlete for the HFL Cougars. Rachel has been active throughout her high school years, as she has been on both the track and field and the soccer team since she was in 9th grade. Last year, Rachel placed 4th with an impressive showing at the New York State Track and Field Championships. Between her busy schedule, Rachel is a member of the Jazz Band, Math Club, Link Crew, and the Interact Club at HFL. This week, Rachel Sequeira is Making the Grade. If you have a student in mind for our Making the Grade segment, we want your nominations. Send them into info@classywolf.com. And now here's Dave with the McArdle Section 5 Spotlight.
Thanks, Kyle. Here are some of the athletes, teams, and coaches making news in this week's Section 5 Spotlight, brought to you by McArdle's in Fairport. Come home to McArdle's. A quick rundown of how Section 5 basketball fared at the New York State Finals. Bishop Kearney Kings lost in the Class AA state semifinals to West Jenny. Congrats to the ladies of BK on a great season. The Mid-Lakes girls lost in the Class B championship to Irvington from Section 1. The Screaming Eagles finished 22-4 and made their first ever appearance in the state finals. The Pittsford men and boys lost in the Class A finals, falling to Poughkeepsie for their first loss of the year. Still an incredible season for the Vikings. And congrats to the men and girls who won the Class A championship, beating Seton Catholic 59-50 for their first ever state title. Up next, McQuaid looks to its past for inspiration. Well, that story when the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College, continues.
Came now to Eichel. He floated one. Score!
Welcome back, and thanks once again for joining us on the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College. I'm Dave Yates. This segment is brought to you by the Injury Free Coalition and our friends at Leo's Bakery and Deli. Please remember to always wear your seatbelt in the front and back seats, and to focus only on driving when behind the wheel of a car. This message courtesy of the Injury Free Coalition for Kids Smart Teen Driving Program and our friends at Leo's Bakery and Deli. The McQuaid Jesuit Knights coaching staff brings plenty of Division I playing experience to a team that was on a crusade to bring a sectional title home in honor of a legendary coach.
At
13 months since that sub-500 start to the 2017-18 campaign, the Jesuit Knights have added another Section 5 championship, along with a New York State Far West Regional crown to their trophy case. With an 11-4 start to this season, including wins over reigning New York State champion Liverpool and Section 6 champion Niagara Falls, Jack Leisure's squad has its sights set on another title run.
Well, I think we have a group right now that has kind of experienced a run where we had to do it by becoming selfless and putting the team first, and so we have a bunch of guys that experience that, so that really helps to have had that success and that affirmation.
Guiding the McQuaid program is a coaching staff with unparalleled Division I playing experience. Leisure, who played college basketball at Division I Coastal Carolina, is joined by former high school teammates Ryan Patinella and Marty O'Sullivan. Patinella started his college career at the University of Pennsylvania before finishing at Virginia. O'Sullivan played 4 years at Division I Fairfield University.
We're all really, the basketball and the team is really important, so we're talking about it all the time. And, my dad's a realtor full-time, and all I get is voicemails from him all day on his thoughts about the team, so everybody's very bought in and very invested in the team, and to have a bunch of guys with a lot of experience, a lot of playing experience,
Well, there's 3 Division I players who came here who won a state championship, I think 3 sectionals back-to-back, so it's kind of just like, wow, I get to be around winners all the time, and they just have winning mentality, which is going to carry down to the rest of the team. So being around them brings a lot out of us, and it carries on to us with the winning mentality and just keeping a mentality of winning, just knowing that hey, we lost this game, but the next one we're going to improve and we're going to do better, and we're just going to come back as a better team.
It's awesome. Every time we watch film, there's stuff all 3 of them see. They're all pointing stuff out and stuff that we would never know or realize, and it makes sense. And they're just giving us the recipe to win, and we just got to go out there and execute that.
Leisure has made the emphasis less about game results and more about each individual play and what can be done in any given sequence. This has allowed the players to grow and understand the game.
It's really easy to get so caught up in all the different things that need to happen over a course of a game, over the course of a season, and if you can simplify your mindset to just this practice, this drill, this possession, I think it's a lot easier. But that's a challenging thing, and it takes some maturity and some experience to embrace that, I think. A lot of times you win games and you didn't get better, and you didn't do the things you needed to do, and then you lose games and you improved and you made strides as a group. And so we've been really trying to focus on that, because if the mindset is on that process and building and trying to get better in every practice and every game, then you're going to continue to progress as a group. But on the other hand, everyone's a competitor and you just want to win too. So it's a hard thing, and I think that these guys have been really trying to get better over the last 12 months, and I think that's been the key to us having some success.
I think for us early on, it was one of the key things we had to focus on was being unselfish and being a team and focusing on the team and not individual stats. I think we've all just learned our roles, and I think that's why we've been so successful against other teams. We're just taking pride in ourselves because we know the moment we let up is the moment everything goes downhill. So we've just been taking it one game at a time.
For Leisure, though, the opportunity to be the head coach of the McQuaid Basketball program is a chance to honor the memory of longtime former Knights coach Joe Marchese.
I feel very honored to be able to be the coach, and what I say to these guys is let's honor what Coach Marchese has built. And so we're myself and Coach Ryan and Coach Marty and my dad, Coach Rick, are all sort of just trying to carry on the tradition that was built here.
In a 19-year career, the late Joe Marchese won 8 Section 5 titles and 3 New York State championships, including the 2003 team with Leisure, O'Sullivan, and Patinella on it.
They would tell us how practice would go and how hard they used to play and all the wins they used to have, and they're just translating all this stuff that they learned from him to us, and they want us to succeed as well as they did with him, and so we're just going out there and playing hard just for McQuaid and for our coaches and for Marchese.
it's nice to keep his winning legacy going, because there was a good time after him, once he retired, that we didn't win for a long time. So it felt good to just know that like we're carrying on his legacy and him winning, because Jack was his player, and Jack is now taking over as a coach, and he's carrying on his winning mentality.
I think the way we do, how we honor Coach Marchese is win another sectional title, win another regional title, and the main goal is to win states. And I think that would mean a lot for Coach Marty, Coach Ryan, and Coach Leisure, because they were so close with that coach. And if we were put in, Coach Leisure's shoes, if one of our coaches died, I feel like we would have a chip on our shoulders. So I think that's how we collect ourselves now.
Let's go. I'll work on 3, 1, 2, 3. I'll work.
From McQuaid High School, this is Paul Gotham with the High School Sports Beat.
We'd like to thank our sponsors, including our new title sponsor, Alfred State College. Also, thanks to the athletes, teams, and coaches for a great winter season in Section 5. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week.